to this place. It's an energy of kind of reminds me of the void in a way it's dark, but it has these green undertones within the space around me, almost like there's green lava around me, like the way it looks. Um, Although it's not hot, it's just the way the energy transmits itself here.
Mm. Can you describe to me a bit more about what makes you say that this energy transmits itself in that way?
So the energy transmits itself like it's not actually like it can place like it can show up for others in different ways. So the way it's transmitting itself and appearing to me is in that way, but that's not necessarily how it is in its resting state.
Okay, so the energy appears as green to you. Can you describe that for me?
Yes, so it's like it looks almost like lava, or it looks like the ripple of water, it's like green and black, and like it's opening up a pathway for me that it wants me to walk forward through, and it is opening up to something that's a huge, like a tall pillar of a building or something that it wants me to walk through.
Okay, and you feel guided to walk through this path?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So I'll just let you walk through that path and feel free to describe what happens as this takes place.
Yes, so I'm walking through and then like stairs form in front of me and it looks almost like a castle, but everything's very dark and I mean, it doesn't feel bad here. It doesn't feel like I should be afraid of anything, but it feels like things here are heavy and dense and dark. And it feels like I see a moon, I see very pointy structures. I see like inside there's these halls and um like the hallway that like I see inside has this long carpet, but the hallway just keeps on getting longer and longer and longer. Like it's not like as I'm looking at it, the hallway's growing and it's very optical illusion type of place. Um like it's showing me that the this is a place of illusions. This is a place where things seem like they have physicality and that they have structure to them, but in all reality, it's very malleable and uh, it moves. The energy moves in different ways here.
So are these energies constantly moving?
Yeah, it's like a fun house.
Mm. And as you travel down this sort of fun house, what is it about this place that draws your attention? Can you tell me any other details of this place?
What they're saying is, and that they're showing me, as is that this was a place of illusion, and this is a place that of illusion, and you can create like this illusion fun house has been created within the void. So it is something that's creative out of the void, but in it's all optical illusion. Like it's all an
Mm.
optical illusion, whether you're creating things that are of the light or things that are of this like darker, what would feel denser energy. And
Mm.
but they're all created from the same place. And so what they're showing me is like I have this room in my void where I have a lot of this optical illusion, but I also have a room that they're showing me it's almost has opaque walls, like that I
Mm.
haven't even played in yet, that I haven't even painted in yet, or like created structure to it yet, and that I've been playing in these optical illusions.
Mm. So let's explore your rooms a little bit more. How many rooms do you have in this place?
Like they're showing me like kind of like a Barbie dream house. Like there's lots of different rooms, but
Mm.
the two that they really truly want to explore are the vast contrast of,
Okay.
like, I've spent a lot of my energy in this house of optical illusion and painting that. And then it's a choice. Like, I've already been there, done that. I've already experienced that. But now it's a time for me to go into this blank canvas of a room to create like, use a different palette, use a different matter of your, like, what you're using to create with. Like
Mm.
that's where I'm at, is this crossroad. Like, I've already established this whole world of optical illusions. You can go, there's dungeons, there's like they're showing me long hallways that extend forever. Like, I've created every nook and cranny of this space. And now it's time for me to go and create in this other blank canvas of a space.
Okay, so can we explore the blank canvas?
Yeah, it's really pretty because they're like like I'm in the room and like they're showing me this really like really luxurious fabric, and like I'm walking along and like running my hands along it like like silk or something, and I'm like, yeah, that's beautiful. Like, the textures in here feel rich, they feel royal, they feel value of real depth and real, there's a certain like a royal feeling to this room of the palette in which I have the option and the medium to be able to express from.
And what do you feel that you're going to create in this space?
Like, they're showing me the contrast of, like, this is going to be the castle in which, like, and it's funny because I'm not a very big like Disney princess or castle in that fact of like fairy tale type of, that doesn't catch my eye normally, like on the 3D realm. But the fact that they're expressing it in this way is really interesting. Is like they're showing like this is the happily ever after. And I'm like, they never like that's never been a, but that's like they're showing the contrast. Like, one castle is very dense and dark, and this castle is like whatever my dreams may come, like are can be expressed in this medium.
That's beautiful. So you can create what you dream in this place.
Absolutely. And it's of things of value and of meaning. Like, um it's not necessarily so much, it's, there can be materialistic things in that way, but it's like relationships of connection, relationships of true celebration of one another, relationships of community supporting one another, really showing up for each other, of just unconditional love and acceptance of self and others, all can reside here. And that those are a lot of the depth and the value of the richness that can be held here. And there can also be like rich things of like, nice things and thriving in that aspect. And like they're showing me vacations and traveling and being able to go and see the world and beautiful monuments of like portals and where energy fields are, that like things fun like the go to the pyramids to explore those things, like all that can exist there too, but it's more or less the value of the community in which
Mm.
self-expression is of laughter and love and support.
So are they telling you how you can connect in with this reality more? How can you connect in with this timeline that you want to be a part of?
They're wanting me to put a candle in the house of illusion. They're wanting me to put some something in the House of Illusions. They showed like sealing that door, but I immediately when they showed sealing that door, I felt bad for the House of Illusions. Like I don't want to tell it it can't exist and shun it. And so they're like, well, if you don't want to shun it from your life, you can place a candle within the room so that it not be like it won't be a farce.
Mm. Is that a part of finding your true self?
Yes, like you, the more and more you're connected with your light, the more and more it'll just that those illusions will be illuminated and they'll
Mm.
be shown for what they truly are.
Beautiful. And do they have anything else to say about that, about how you can connect in with who you really are?
To like they're it's funny because they're like engage your queen energy. They're like, you encourage other people to engage the richness of who they are, but like that queen energy, like like they're telling me I've identified as someone who's here to help with people heal and to hold that space of acceptance and love for others, that like I kind of in a way forgot myself in that mix, and that like it's I need to embrace more of that queen energy, and not from like telling people what to do, but in a way that to realize like you are royal. You are that golden, beautiful, just gold richness energy. And you deserve these beautiful things within your life that you can then, in your abundance, share with others. Like the more you embrace that, the more people will naturally around you align in their own energy of abundance and their own energy of royalness and their own energy of deserving everything that the universe has to offer of the highest vibration. And it's very beautiful. And like, it's like you can be someone who helps others and still embrace that energy in an empowered way.
Mm. Beautiful. Are they telling you anything else about what you need to do in order to connect in with yourself? Maybe on the daily, maybe in a daily sort of practice. How can you do that for yourself every single day in the physical reality?
Vision, like visual work, would be really, really good to, uh, like, it's silly, but stop, um, they're like, stop looking for a bargain in life. Like, really, if you want something, treat yourself, go and do it. Stop saying, well, if it's on sale, I'll go do it. And, they're saying, we understand that you feel like there's limitations in the economy and what's going on. But in reality, like, you've got to treat yourself. You've got to enjoy that. And yes, you can, of course, buy something on bargain, but we're saying, like, you have had the mentality in your survival lifestyle of looking at things and automatically bracing, like, is it on sale? Can I afford that? And it's like, no, like start like treating yourself. Start like price isn't the issue. Like start engaging more in your daily thing of just like if you want it, you get it. And like just
Mm.
trust that it's all going to be taken care of. But also to visualization, really tap into working with the mind's eye of visualizing what you want and all those beautiful things of the richness of like you want more friends that you can connect with that are of the like-minded mentality. You want those clients that you could be of the best asset to help and be and show up for, and use your, just use that love that you have for them. Like all of those things start to use your mind's eye visualization, and also to um just really see yourself as a queen and really see yourself in that richness. And they're showing me also gratitude, like everything, like be present in everything and everything that's provided for you. Just have like abundance of gratitude. Like
Mm.
really show up and show people, like when those clients come to you, really be abundant in your gratitude that they trusted you to share that space. When something does come your way of the positive, that you have a really good day and connection with people, really thank those connections, thank the day, thank everything, and have that gratitude for your life. And it will just naturally, things are just going to flow your way.
And is that the secret to abundance?
Yes, is the alignment with the self-worth and understanding that you do deserve it. And also, like, when having gratitude for everything within your life. Once you acknowledge how great things are, even the fact that you woke up and you have breath to your day, that when you have gratitude for that, it just naturally, you start to be present and see how many divine gifts you already have in this world. And then that sends the message to your guides and to the universe that you love those divine gifts. And the universe and your guides send you more and more divine gifts, the more and more they get the messages that you're truly grateful for the divine.
Beautiful. Do they have any other messages about how to connect in with this new beautiful timeline, this version of yourself?
When you feel that worry about if it's happening or if you're doing the right thing, that you just need to breathe through it, go for a walk, do something not to distract yourself, but do something to give and enrich and use your currency of that energy of your thought into something of creation. So when you get in anxiety or start to brace your breath, if you can get into a creative mode or connecting with nature mode or something that keeps you in connection with the rhythm of the everything, that'll be better for you. Then, because when you get anxiety, you just start telling stories, which attracts that you want the things that to occur in that anxiety of the stories of what you're telling.
So, how can we be mindful? How can we be more mindful of the stories which we're telling ourselves so that we can align to our greatest truth?
So just when you can be more in connection with the physical body, and you can feel when it's bracing, when it's not at relax, when it's not at ease, when you are looking at things and you're not feeling in gratitude for the things or in the presence of it, you're going to realize that you're out of alignment with your true divine blueprint. And so, if something's going wrong and you really turn it back to thought, it's like, well, your thought kind of steered it in that direction. So it's just when you see things popping up that are, oh, I don't like that. Oh, that person's reaction towards me didn't feel good. And it's like, if like is that moment for you to go, oh, well, what were my thoughts that I wasn't even in control of, and it's like, okay, what can I find I'm grateful for about the situation? And the minute you put it back to gratitude is the minute when you like shift it back to like be more in the driver's seat.
Beautiful. So, is there anything else that this place wants to tell you before you leave this place? Any other messages that come up about this place?
No, it's very beautiful, and I can see that there's a light in where that kind of dreary one is. So I can see that there's an illumination there already starting.
Beautiful. Now let's move away from that scene. You can either move forward or backward to find another appropriate time and place that has the information that you need. You are now at another time and a place. And as you gather your bearings and look around, what is it that you see and notice?
I am in nature, and it's nighttime, and I am kind of just moving through the trees right now. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm in nature, moving through the trees. It's dark outside, and I don't feel like I know this place at all.
Okay. So can you look around and see if you have a body and what it is that you're wearing on your body?
I feel like I did have a body, but I feel like I do not at this time. Like I am in spirit form.
Okay. And so this place isn't familiar to you, is it?
No, like I feel like my spirit form is a little lost in where I'm at. And so I'm like trying to move through. Um, oh, and it's really interesting. It showed like kind of in a horror film, like when you see the blood splatter on the side of the walls, it showed that happen.
Okay. So in this forest, where did you see that?
Oh, okay. Not expecting this one today. Um, I was sacrificed.
Oh, wow. Okay. I want you to tell me a bit more about that. And you can just see it as an observer if you wish. We can go back in time to find out what it is that happened. And if you wish, you can just watch it as an observer. It won't bother you in any way.
I am okay with experiencing it how I am supposed to experience it because there's nothing that they can do to hurt me. And I almost feel like I need to face it and to see it and to show it how I'm not breakable in what they're doing
Mm,
in order to face it. And so I feel like this is my way of stepping into my power.
mm. Oh, that's wonderful. So you can experience it if you so wish. And so we will travel back in time to the place where this sacrifice took place. And I want you to tell me what is going on around you and what you are experiencing as you begin to gather your bearings and take on what is going on around you.
I'm a female and I am back in a time, and it seems like England, maybe. It's in a time I have been, I've experienced this lifetime before in which I just saw it in the fact that I was in this place. It looks like a castle, but it wasn't a castle. It was like a big learning place, like an institution. And what I understand is it was probably a druid
Mm,
lifetime with the druid, in which I really enjoyed learning about all of the books. And it was a very quiet lifetime for me in the fact that I was really into studying and just learning that I could and being very disciplined and being very just understanding the things about this world. But I didn't, it was always very peaceful. Like when the one time I've seen it, was a very peaceful lifetime. And they're showing me, yes, that was true. That was an excerpt of that lifetime. But what ended up happening is that there were, like they're showing me teeth. There was something, this organization, and I don't know much about druids. So I I am resisting saying this because I don't want to badmouth druids at all, because
It's okay.
I'm not trying. Yeah, I'm
Just say whatever the first thing that comes to mind.
right. Like they were worshiping something of a darker
Mm,
entity, and that they, in order to gain power from the worshiping, that they saw me as a light, and they saw the purity
mm,
within me. And
mm,
I think I was a virgin. Like I feel like I was that pure. Like I can't relate with
mm,
it. But that they sacrificed me.
mm. So tell me what it is that happens as you're being sacrificed. What is it that they're doing?
So I'm tied down, like I'm on my back, my arms are kind of sprawled out, and I'm tied down, and they are in robes. And they
Mm,
have like animalistic facial features, almost like they've carved, like almost like they carved a pig's face and they put that carcass on their face. Like they're very wearing very like animalistic type things, and they're chanting and they're walking around in a circle, and there's symbols around me. And I'm very scared. I'm very panicked. And I quite honestly can't understand what I did to be
mm,
sacrificed in such a way. I was very disciplined. I was very loving. I was very caring in the things, and I was very methodical in how I spent my time as far as learning more. And
mm,
I couldn't understand. And I was trying to look at their eyes. I wanted to look at their eyes because I felt like if I could look in their eyes, it could make sense as to a connection, as to maybe like look at a cue of like what I did wrong. And
mm.
I couldn't see their eyes because they had these things over their face.
Are they wearing masks on their faces?
Yes.
And do you know what the masks symbolize?
It's just very animalistic. It's almost
Mm,
like they're inverting the energy of nature.
mm, Are they turning it into something darker, are they?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, there's like they're connecting with they're like the deer or the elk or whatever they are, and the pigs, and it's like they're connecting, putting these masks on, and but it's connecting with nature, but it's connecting in it with a very inverted way. So like it's the
Mm,
opposite of nature.
mm. That's very interesting. Now tell me about the symbols. Do the symbols mean anything to you?
I don't understand them. They feel like magic.
Mm,
They don't feel like it doesn't feel like nice magic. It feels like something like when the my life leaves my body, that like the something to do with my blood invokes those symbols and gives
mm.
something else power.
So what is it about the blood that is important to the ritual?
The purity of it,
Mm,
the innocence of it, and yeah, like I led a very pure lifestyle. And so the pureness of it was utilized, and that strength of the purity was inverted, and it gave them strength and power
mm.
because they didn't possess that purity within themselves.
The people doing this ceremony, you mean?
Yes, like they wanted more power. They wanted to be able to control the narrative of, not the narrative, but the energy of, like they wanted power. They wanted And they also wanted to show loyalty to darker forces, that they were
Mm.
loyal and that they wanted to be like they something like they this is was a taught behavior for them in a lot of ways, but it was also like they didn't know how to love themselves or believe in loving themselves. And so they turned it into a mission of following these ritualistic ways because that gave them power
Mm.
through that. And they got certain titles, they got certain like elitism within the ranks of that, whatever. It's not necessary, I mean, you could call it society for words purpose, but it wasn't like an elite society like you think today. It's like their society in which they operated within, like where they were. And like they drew from that power of gaining self-worth versus like self-love.
Mm. And what sort of dark forces are they loyal to? Can you tell me a bit more about those?
So they're showing me like there's extensions of like they don't ever actually know the true source of who they're worshiping. There's like extensions. So like they talk to somebody who talks to somebody, like the hierarchy of the ranks. So they may know the ranks that report on behalf of this dark source, like that they are instructed on how to do these rituals and everything, but they don't actually ever meet the dark source unless they're high up in their ranks, then they'll meet the dark source. But really, like the
Mm.
lower ones are just kind of like they get recruited by somebody, like somebody recruits them and then like that's who they report to. And then the person that they report to was recruited by a different pyramid of people, and then that like it's just a very big, like nobody knows, it's all illusions and nobody really knows who's at the top except for like the top people.
Mm. So the top people, are they in contact with a dark sort of being or source or something like that?
Yes.
And have these dark beings, have they, like, I guess, manipulated it so that humans do this?
Yes, so they have manipulated it in telling them, giving them what they want to hear, what they know will fulfill them.
Mm.
And so people are enticed by that and they give away their free will and invoke these rituals and these ways of being because it's like everything that like everybody's recruited in a different way, I guess. Like they're recruited, like they use their insecurities and their lackings against them, and the fact that that's exactly what they promised them.
Mm. So, are there any other beings that are present at this ritual, like non-physical ones?
Yeah, they're like showing me energy like from above, but really they're showing me that there's a lot of like some of them that are there appear as humans, but really they're that's just a portrayal of who they are. Like if you were to if you were to see them in their true form, that they would look more like they would look reptilian or draconian. They wouldn't, but they can, like they would show themselves as people, like the people in the top ranks are, that's what they're
Mm.
saying. Like they're actually of those um, galactic um, collective.
So they're another species.
Yeah.
Mm. And how is it that they infiltrated amongst humans?
Well, they can like shapeshift the frequency of how they present themselves for amounts of time. but
Mm,
because they need the humans' free will, because they can't invoke their own free will here on this planet to be
mm,
able to, like, they need a workforce and they
mm,
need power and energy. And so they invoke man's free will to do these things. And so they have to disguise themselves to be able to do that.
mm. That's very interesting. So have they been here for a very long time?
Yes.
Mm. And are these sort of beings the ones generally in the backgrounds or the ones that are the dark source that is telling these people to do these things? Or are there other beings involved as well?
It's mainly these, but there are other beings of just lower frequency that they work with.
Mm,
That they like they like these other beings that only can be seen on like a energetic level that are
mm,
there on this realm, like but none of them like each other actually. Like the draconians, the reptilians, and these other like lower elemental beings, none of them like each other, but they understand that by working together, they all get like a piece of the pie. So
mm,
like there's this big like they all want power. Um,
mm.
but like they understand like there's this big power dynamic between all of them. So it's like but they all work together to get the common goal of to entrap humanity's free will.
And after they entrap humanity's free will, what's the end goal of what they want to do with that? Could you see if there's any goal for what they wish to do?
Just to survive. Like
Mm,
they just want to survive. They just want to have power. They don't want to, they want this planet to be theirs. They want to just, I mean, in the scheme of things, they want to just to be able to live and to survive. But I feel like they haven't interacted so well on such on higher dimensional planes with other higher dimensional beings that they because they didn't play nice in the sandbox, let's say, that they were banished. And so they thought that the only way to gain what they wanted was by taking and by force,
mm,
and that they brought those ways of being down here to earth, but in reality they could still survive here on earth without having to take and without having force, and to do it in a more harmonious way. But they almost like it's like that's all they know, like they it works for them. So they're like, we're going to continue to doing it this way because this is what works for us, and we're going to like continue this patterns of behaving for as long as we can to keep control.
mm. So they're like almost in their own level of delusion.
Yes.
Mm. And so these people doing the rituals, are they aware that some of them among them are this different species, or what are they doing in these rituals?
So everyone looks like they're human, right? And
Mm,
but the humans do have these masks made out of animal skins and stuff on them. But um, I think some of them know something doesn't feel right, but they're already in it and they don't, they just are disillusioned. They just want the power. They just want to the acceptance. They just want to have to like riches and to feel important in their society, like being a part of this society of what they're doing. It's like it's engaging in with feeling important and feeling like they belong.
so in participating in this, does it give them power in their society?
Yes.
Mm. So I want you to describe for me what happens next in the sacrifice. Can you describe, I guess, from an observer's perspective?
So I'm very like, obviously I'm very afraid and I'm very confused because I feel like something to do, like if I can see them with my eyes, I can connect with them. And I know I
Mm,
have this part about me in the way that I can transmit energy that when I look into the eyes of others, that I can like bring them back to their true sense of self, like find the
mm,
humanity, find that part within them. And so I can't see anyone's eyes, and that's like a panic for me because I realize
mm,
I have no control in the situation. That
mm,
um and yeah, they just, I mean, I'm very neutral about it and I understand that it's already happened, but they, like, I see a knife and I see bleeding, like some parts of me are cut to like start draining me, and then I just see the knife go and my life leaves. So I don't,
mm,
feels like it's my chest. Um, that is what the final blow is.
mm.
But, you know, yeah.
Do they do anything with the blood?
It's the heart that they do something with. Like I see them removing my heart, and the blood is like draining down over the symbols on the floor.
And why do they need the blood to drain over the symbols? Why is this important?
It empowers the purity of the blood, empowers the symbols to give them like magical life.
Mm. And what do they do afterwards to the body if you view it as an observer's perspective?
They just dump it.
Mm. So they don't treat it with any care.
No, they just like, it just slumps. Like it just, yeah, it's not, there's no care. There's no, like, they got what they needed. The
Mm.
main thing is they just have to get rid of it, like, so that there's no even search party. It's like everybody knows, like when you go missing in these areas, they know when you go missing, like not to go looking. Like, don't go
Oh,
find the answers. Don't go ask questions. Just continue your life, appreciate the fact it wasn't you. And eventually, like, it's just, they all know in this area that this happens and this goes on. But as long as they're surviving and that they have the life that they want, that they're just okay with it, you know?
so they turn a blind eye to this darkness.
Yes.
Mm. And how did you feel as a result of this situation?
At first, I was just like, it shows me at night, like in the trees, like I was confused and scared and
Mm,
hurt by the actions of another human being, that they could see someone who had never harmed them, that they could treat with such disrespect and such with as such a use, like use my body. And but like I'm shown, like I go back to in the afterlife, like I'm shown that I get a debrief and understanding that like it was something I wanted a 3D experience and to understand like what was going on. But I did
mm,
carry some of that sacrificial energy into this lifetime.
okay. And so, can that be cleared right now for you?
Yes, like they're showing me, like they're clapping, like they're proud of me for standing in such bravery and neutrality, facing this, being able to see it and to describe it, not allowing their actions to define me or to take away my power anymore. that I
Mm,
am powerful, that I am like they're showing me the healing that has happened and then I carried it over into this lifetime. And I've been able to, in this lifetime, already heal that past lifetime, is why I am not triggered by it. That I've actually done the inner work in this lifetime that has already laid the groundwork for me to explore that lifetime and to understand that there were traumatic things that happened. And yes, they did follow me here, but they're very like, they're showing me like I've already done the healing. And now they wanted to show me this lifetime so that I could be very empowered and grateful for the love I've given myself and the time and attention I've given to heal the things within my lifetime here.
mm. Wonderful. So now that you're on the other side of it, you can look back at that and see it from a different perspective. And what was the mission of that particular lifetime? What did you come there to do?
I came there to, like, I wanted to explore and understand the texts and the teachings and what was going on in that lifetime. Um, and to explore self-discipline, like explore the purity. And it was also to be like a pure soul and to see that things, like I was gaining information for the collectives as like, even if you are as pure of a soul and dedicated of a soul, like how sideways the things invading humanity's free will can go. So by
Mm,
taking on and going through that, I was able to take to the collective, like, this is what they're doing on the ground with man's free will. Like they're
mm,
taking beautiful, and this is why, like, this is why the experiment is going sideways in a way.
mm. So what you're doing is bringing this light to the darkness, this attention to these energies. Is that
Right.
correct?
Yeah, in a way. I mean, I wasn't alchemizing it. I was bringing knowledge and awareness so that the
Mm,
collectives could see what they need to do to help humanity out of those cycle of enslavement.
mm. And so what is the advice from the higher self for how humanity can stop the sacrifices and enslavement from these dark beings?
That these beings will prey on your insecurities and your desires of distortion, and
Mm,
that these beings, when you start to realize that you have this ability to be the light for yourself and to connect in with your guides and your teams, to connect into something higher of a pure frequency for healing, that you will gain that self-love for self and that empowerment of self and everything that you are seeking for wholeness by engaging with higher frequency things, that not to engage with things that promise you these things, like that are saying like, oh, we can, like a car salesman is that they're kind of showing me and embodying that energy of, like, they're preying on your weaknesses and
mm,
that you have the power, you are the one that has the answer to embody that wholeness with the
mm,
all, but you have to use your free will choice to do either. And so just
mm,
be very conscious of your free will choices and really connect with your body of if something is of the light or if something feels like it's of a denser frequency when you're making
mm,
choices.
mm. So how can humanity be empowered to use their free will?
They can just invoke to activate their free will that anything not of the light be shown in the light.
Mm, beautiful. So can we send that activation out now to anyone that they wish to, I guess, invoke for themselves this sense of knowing that they can at any time use their free will. Would that be appropriate?
Absolutely. And they're just showing it kind of just like a spark sent out far and
Mm,
wide. So it's there whenever someone would like to engage with it.
beautiful. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell me about that scene before we move on?
No, we're grateful that uh, to be able to have visited that scene with her and that she chose to stand up. We're very happy for her.
Mm, wonderful.